Good evening. We have people jumping on. We've got Catherine on. We've got Kim on. We've got Sadika on. And I know I'm going to mess her first name up. So the last name is Kish. So I assume Kish, if I'm correct. I don't know first name. Yes, because you know I'm messing up your name.
Afifa.
Afifa.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I'm just cleaning up dinner.
Okay. Well, do what you got to do. And we're going to start rocking in a second. I'm going to give, because you guys are the early adopters. It just turned to 6 o'clock. So let me get a feel for who I have on, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself as well once we get some other folks jumping on too. So, Catherine, what's your story?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm good. How are you doing tonight?
Good, good. Good to have you on.
Thank you. So I'm a new agent with Keller Williams Gateway out of Rochester, New York.
Okay.
So I am kind of been jumping in and trying to learn as much as possible. So I'm excited to be here tonight.
Okay. Now, when you say new, how new is new?
About 6 weeks.
Okay. Then that's new. 6 weeks. Okay. That's a beautiful thing. All right. And I've got Kim on. Kim, what's your story?
Hi, I'm a newer agent. I started in April. I took a night around that time. This is my second time, and it's making sense this time. The first time I was lost completely. So this time it's pretty much clicking.
Well, that's good because you guys are taking one of the best courses that you could take right behind Bold. So I'm glad to have you on. When Bold comes to your market center, don't ask any questions about is it worth it? I can assure you that it is. Please take Bold. So when you see Bold coming to your market center, take Bold. All right. Now, tonight, feel free to take any notes that you want to take. If you have questions, feel free to ask questions. We got quite a bit of content to cover. And the Ignite course is condensed down because typically it's a 4-hour course taught during the day. So it's been condensed. So we want to make sure that we give you as much real content and really give you real value. So that's my goal tonight, is to give you as much value as possible. Let's see, I've got the thing I would ask you to do is, if you're in a position for it, is to have your cameras up. It makes everything a little more lively, and also you get to know the other people. You guys, probably it would be a great idea to network with some of the other folks you see on here, because as you're seeing, some people maybe have been affiliated with Keller a little longer than you, some maybe not as long, and sometimes you'll see who's in your region. So in a little while, I'm gonna wait for a couple of more people because we're still early to jump on. And in a little while, I'm gonna ask you to do something so that you guys get a feel and know each other and network with each other. Because with Keller, we're real big on that. Keller is really, really big on family. If you haven't sort of gotten what's the word for that? An introduction to that. We're really, really a family-oriented company. So I see Alicia is on as well. Alicia, what's your story?
Um, it's Alicia, but what story?
Alicia, I'm sorry.
What story? What was I supposed to be telling?
Like how long you've been with Keller, what
Ah.
area, that type of thing.
Oh, so Keller Williams, I've been with them not long. I can count on probably one hand. So I'm very new, like very new. I was with another brokerage before this. I did like them, but I just feel like I need more training on what I need to do. Um, I'm in Florida, so yeah.
Okay, you're in
Um,
Florida.
mhm.
Okay. I don't know the way it's turning out. Look like Catherine might be the senior person on here the way we going. She's real new too. So that's good.
Can I
Okay,
go
a lot.
next?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's so funny because I feel like we've been here all this time and I feel like I know everybody. Like when Catherine jumped on, I'd be like, yeah, she got 2 land listings last week. And when he said Alicia, and I was like, oh, it's Alicia.
Oh,
Girl,
Like I
everybody
really
been
know
saying
you
that.
guys, right? I'm like, he didn't call her Alicia. It's Alicia. But you say
Everybody says that.
Well,
Alicia. I'm like, it's
I'm sure I'm going to mess up some other names as well. So just
It's
feel
okay.
free to correct me. Just feel free
it's
to
okay. She
correct me.
nicely corrects everybody every night.
Yeah.
My name is Afifa. I think I want to say this is my 3rd week. I started the day before Ignite started. So I think I signed with Keller Williams on the 11th. And maybe you guys started the 12th or the 13th. But yeah, and I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, and I was going to say Alicia, she's really claims Philly, but she lives in Florida. And that part.
Okay.
That's
All
it.
right. So, yeah, we have some varied states being represented on today. So that's a good thing. So get geared up too for family reunion in February. So put that on your calendar for Vegas. So, all right, I see we got an assistant on there with Afifa. She's got her assistant with her. Okay, that's a good thing. So plan for that in February. I'd highly recommend you get the early bird special because that registration will go up as they get closer. So start looking at your hotel, your airfare, and the hotels you can get somewhat cheap in Vegas. All right, we've got Dawn on. So Dawn, what's your story? How long have you been affiliated with KW? Is Dawn out
Hi,
there?
yes, I'm here. I've been with KW for about a month now.
Okay, so a
Had my
lot of you.
license, I had my license for a few years, but just got affiliated with KW. Yeah.
Okay, okay, beautiful. And Carlos, you're on with us. Carlos Davis. Carlos. We've got Michaela is on too. All right. And I believe, is it Bianca? Carlos, what's your story?
Hello, sorry about that.
So how long have you been affiliated?
For just about 6 months.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So generally everybody is new. All right. So whoever gets on after this, they get on. Look, I just want to welcome you guys. My name is Tyrone Whitby. Everybody calls me Coach T. It's like I don't even know my real name anymore because everybody calls me Coach T. I've been licensed longer than some of you been born because I've had my real estate license in 1987. So some of y'all weren't even born in 87. All right. And my role is I'm what we call a career advancement partner at Keller Williams Preferred Properties. And I'm talking to you from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I'm right outside Washington, D.C., like not even 10 minutes outside Washington, D.C. And I've been with Keller Williams 13 years. And I'm the director of productivity coaching for Keller Williams Preferred Properties. In our coaching program, we currently have 160 people or 160 business partners that are in our program. And our program has been in place for about 12 years. So this is my favorite subject. So I'm super excited to be on. Every time they ask for an instructor for Ignite After Dark, and I see it come in, the one I always select is Win with Sellers. All right, now, so why that? Why am I super excited about Win with Sellers? Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm excited about it. Because really, having listings has always been the name of the game. And why is it the name of the game? Anybody have any ideas of why is it a great idea to have sellers, to have listings? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Well,
Anybody got any thoughts?
can you hear me? Is my mic on?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first you get a bigger commission. But if you're selling a property, you're most likely going to buy a property as well. So maybe you can get 2 transactions off of one. Sorry. Disclaimer, I got 5-year-old twins. You're most likely to get 2 transactions. And then always might have a referral from that.
Okay. Multiple transactions. Okay. Afifia brought up something very important. Let's think about this real quick. If you get a listing and anybody sells that listing, no matter what company it is, and you have the listing, you have the signed listing agreement, you are paid. You have 1 transaction, right? Now, could it be possible for you to actually have the person that would write the offer on the property? Now, we got to remember our rules and regulations and who you must represent and disclose. So if you were just totally representing the seller, you still could assist the buyer in writing on that property. So now you have 2, okay? Now, let's say they're going to move somewhere local in your area. Who are they more likely to buy their next home from? You, right? Now we have the possibility of 3. Now, could it be possible that you had a listing and they bought your listing? Could be. Now you have what? 4. NAR statistics say that for every listing you have, you'll generate at least 1 closed buyer sale. Now you have the possibility of 5. With a buyer, it's typically 1 and out. So with listings, it puts you in a position to have multiple opportunities. Now, I'm not saying you're going to hit on all of the opportunities. However, I'm quite sure you would love to be in that position, right? Yes. Okay, so that's one of them. And you're taking market share. Also, when you have listings, it gives you something to market. So now you have a message that can go out to your sphere of influence, can go maybe to your Instagram folks, your Facebook people, your LinkedIn people. If you're doing direct mail, could go out there as well. Okay, it gives you something to market. It gives you something to advertise. So tonight's agenda, we're going to go over, and you guys, I hope you have your materials up on your computer for tonight's agenda, because remember, you guys have the things that I'm going to cover with you and coach you on tonight. You're going to have that information. And today's agenda is 1, you're the real estate expert. We're going to cover lead generation, lead follow-up, and the transaction. Everybody up for that? Hopefully you're up for that. All right. Now, I'm going to start. You guys may want to put your name and your email address in the chat so that you can network with some of the other folks that are on, because some of you have seemed to have already gotten to know each other because you know each other's names. So it looks like some of you have already formed some business alliances and business relationships. It's always great to be able to just pick the phone up, email somebody, and get additional information. So just if you'd like, just put your contact information in the chat and what city you're out of. Somebody just said they're out of Baltimore. I see that one in the chat. And I believe that's Michaela. She's out of Baltimore. Okay. All right. So let's jump into this material in terms of you're the real estate expert. Let me say this to you. A big part of everything you do in real estate is going to be your mindset. It's going to be how you think. You're going to have to challenge some of your beliefs because you're going to be challenged, excuse me, to do some things that you don't know how to do right now. You may not necessarily want to do, or you may not even feel that comfortable. However, we're not going to ask you to do anything illegal in the course of doing business. We want to make sure that you operate ethically. So we want to make sure you do that. Now, we're going to talk about some things about contacting people tonight. Make sure you are following the TCPA, Telephone Consumer Protection Act, and that you're following that. All right. Honor anybody that's on the do not call list. If someone asks not to be called, please remember to put them on the do not call list, or let them know that they can put their phone number on the National Do Not Call Registry. All right. So I wanted to get that out of the way. You're the real estate expert. Even if you've owned, most of you have been in real estate less than a year, 2 years, 3 years. And you may not feel like an expert. However, you are the expert because you guys took your real estate licensing course at your school to pass the exam to get your real estate license. You affiliated with the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. In the world. Keller Williams is the #1 training company in the world and has actually achieved Hall of Fame status in that area. So if there's anybody that you want to receive training from, is Keller Williams. Keller Williams says this. Keller Williams says that they are a training and coaching company that also happens to sell real estate. So we are a training, coaching, and I left this one out, and technology company that happens to sell real estate. So don't be afraid of the things you don't know. You know more than most people. All right. Now let's look at, I'm going to go to the next slide in your student handout, Win with Sellers. And that's, we're in section 15, Win with Sellers. If you look at your materials, it says a qualified seller. Okay, so what's the definition of a qualified seller? Qualified seller is somebody that's able, ready, and willing to do business in the next how many days, according to your manual?
14.
Absolutely. 14. It didn't say a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. Now, I'm going to stress something to you guys. Right now, you guys came into real estate. You came into real estate at a great time, contrary to what some people are saying out here. You guys came into real estate in a shifted real estate market, SHIFTED, shifted real estate market. Well, what do you mean by that, Coach? I mean this. In some of your locations, because you guys are located across the country, in some of your markets, you guys don't have a lot of inventory in terms of available homes for sale. I don't know if that's your particular area, but we're seeing that pretty much nationwide. Is anybody experiencing that in their local location, that you have fewer homes on the market? Anyone? Oh, everybody's got tons of homes. Nobody is experiencing that situation.
No, we do have a shortage here as well.
Okay, you guys have a short. And you said you're at which location?
Out of Rochester, New York.
Rochester. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So in some localities, some people have as much as 50% fewer homes on the market this time this year than last year. So that means fewer sellers. And we also know that about a third of previously eligible buyers have been wiped out of the marketplace now because interest rates are 7.25. So fewer potential sellers and fewer potential buyers and an interest rate of 7.5%. All right, so where am I going with this? Where I'm going now, I really let my coaching clients know that all leads aren't necessarily good leads, and all opportunities are not necessarily the right opportunity. One of the things I highly recommend for you is that you start getting in the habit of asking great questions to decide whom you're going to take on as a potential client. Let me repeat that to you. Get very good at filtering through the opportunities that you get to decide where you're going to invest your time. Now, what I mean by that is we're going to follow what we see here. Who is able, ready, willing, and also another aspect that I would add with that, who qualifies and who's coachable. Because there's some people that are ready, some people in terms of they think they're ready, they are motivated, they have urgency, but some people aren't qualified. So you want to make sure that you team up with a great, if it's a buyer prospect, with a great loan officer. Now, there's some sellers out here that may not qualify either. Make sure you qualify your sellers just like you would qualify buyers. Just because somebody's a seller, does it mean that they're in a position to sell? I don't know. Could they be upside down in a property? Could they not have any equity in that property? Would they be in a position where they may have to bring money to the table to sell it? Yes, there's some sellers out there like that. All right. So ask great questions to decide whom you're going to work with. Now, some people, you're going to nurture them. So you're going to work with them over time. You're going to stay in touch with them. You're going to take their temperature. You're going to give them homework, things that they need to do to get in a position so that you can help them to sell if that's the case, or buy. Okay. All right. So we're looking for somebody that's ready, willing, and able, and is looking to do business in the next 14 days. Any questions on that? Also on that page, if you'll look at your, if you'll look at the triangle on that page, it says leads, listing, leverage. It doesn't say leads, buyers, leverage. It says leads, listing, leverage. Listings give you a real foot up in the marketplace. Look at what it says. While leads are vital to your sales business, seller listings are critical to your ability to build it to its highest level with the lowest cost and the highest net. And that's from Gary Keller. All right, I'm going to go to the virtues of seller listings. Seller listings mean marketing opportunities. One of the best marketing opportunities that you'll get is having your name hanging on a sign. Having your name hanging on the sign. Now, here's what I'll share with you from my experience. I'll never forget how exciting it was the first time I ever had my name hanging on someone's sign on their house. It was like unbelievable to see your sign on this person's property and it has your name on there. You're looking on there and you're seeing Catherine, you're seeing Michaela, you're seeing Carlos on that sign. And I was so excited. I drove by that house 3 or 4 times just to look and make sure my name was hanging on that sign. And the more times that happens, the more excited you get. So have a goal like you guys that are on here right now. Here's the other thing I would say to you too. There's some myths out there. Sometimes when you're newer in the business, you can negative self-talk to yourself and say, oh, I couldn't be a listing agent. Oh, I don't know how to do any listings. Oh, that could never be for me. You have to be a seasoned agent to take listings. That's not true. That's not true. I'm coaching an agent right now. And I did a class earlier today, and we were doing MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. We were doing models. And she happened to come in the room. She came into the business in December. And today she took her 10th listing from December. She came to the classes that we were doing, and she said in her own mind, I want to be a listing agent. She said that to her. Now, when you take bold, you may hear something that says what you focus on expands. That's a bold law. So what you focus on expands. She's not focusing on buyers. She's focusing on listings. She's taking listings. And I'm really trusting and working with her because I would love for her to be the rookie of the year in our region. So we're on our way. We'll see if that happens. So what I'm saying to you is if you want to become a listing agent, you can. I don't want you to talk yourself out of it. Believe me, you can. The thing that you need to do is to do the activity that will put you in a position to take listings. If you're not doing the activities, you can become a buyer's agent by default, simply because the activities aren't being done. I hope that kind of does that make sense to anybody out there? Y'all can just nod your head if it makes sense.
Yes, it makes
Okay,
sense.
beautiful. Okay, so
So
don't think
I
that
have
you
a
can't become a
question.
listing agent. All right, what else do we have on this?
I have a question.
Yes.
So what are the listing activities? Because you just skipped right over that, Coach T.
I don't want to see. I don't know if I want to go there because that might be a little too brutal for some of you if I go there. But I
Well, you
will.
brought it up. Now I want to know, so I can take my notes.
All right, I'm gonna share. All right, this is the world according to Coach T of what I'm coaching my coaching clients on right now. The money in residential real estate is in becoming a listing agent, and the areas that I have my coaching clients pursuing are some of the traditional ones. I don't have a magic bullet. I don't have a magic pill. However, if somebody does have the magic pill, the key is you got to take it. You can't just say you want it. You got to take it. So the areas are traditional areas, expired listings, for sale by owners, people that are receiving notices of default, which means they're typically 90 days delinquent in their mortgage payment. 90 days delinquent. The other would be absentee owners. So in other words, someone owns a property, but they don't live there. They have tenants that live in the property. Now, do you think all tenants pay their rent on time? Are there some tenants that destroy properties? Are there some tenants that move out at midnight? Move out at dark? Yeah. Are there some people that want to cash out and no longer be a landlord? They're tired of being a landlord? Yes. So absentee owners. The other would be, now, this one can be a little longer until you put your system in place, and that would be probate. Probate. So here we go again. Expired listings, for sale by owners, notices of default, absentee owners, probate, and if you want to catch some investors that are looking to cash out. Because some investors, they want to take their money now because the market has risen really, really high, and some people want to cash out while the market is high. So does that answer that? Okay, now, here's the thing I said to you earlier. You have to decide what arena you want to play in. So in other words, do I want to play on the buyer arena, or do I want to play in the listing arena? Now, if the choice happens to be the listing arena, then I need to develop my skills to play in that arena. Just because someone is an agent and has a license, doesn't mean they're a listing agent. The overwhelming vast majority of agents in the business, not even close, are primarily buyer agents. They have more buyers than they have listings. So you would need to develop your skill. Now, does that mean maybe taking a little more rejection? Yeah. Yeah, it could. So, and it's also getting over something for you guys. One of the biggest challenges that you guys are going to have is going to be fear. It's going to be fear. And you're going to have to overcome the fear because in many cases, you're going to be speaking or contacting people that you don't even know these people. That's not the world's easiest thing, to pick the phone up and contact someone to see if they're thinking about selling and you don't know that person. And that paralyzes a lot of agents. Right now, you can make a lot of money in real estate right now if, one, you know where the money is, which I just got asked the question of, well, how do you where is that? So I shared that of where the money is. The question is, are you going to develop the skills to go get it? No shortage of it. So to me, if I look at what it takes to work a buyer, it's a lot of time, a lot of energy. Now, I'm not down on buyers. If you get a buyer, guess what? Close the transaction and go to settlement. So I'm not on here to say don't work them. However, the class that I'm doing tonight is win with what? Sellers. All right, so that's the mindset I want you developing. I want you developing that mindset. Now, the other thing that you have to realize, in the shifted market that we're in, there are fewer leads out here because there are fewer people that qualify on either side, sellers or buyers. So there's fewer leads. So when there's fewer leads, you got to recognize that because you got to close those opportunities. You've got to take advantage of those opportunities and close them. I hope that makes sense. Before I forget, I'm going to recommend something to you that you definitely get. In my opinion, anybody that's in real estate today, you need to make sure that you have this book. You need to make sure that you have this. Shift. Make sure you have this. It's talking about the market of the moment. It explains to you exactly what you need to do in a shifted real estate market and how to succeed and thrive. I've read the book cover to cover and I've highlighted it, made a lot of red underlines. Let me read you something on page 49. I highly recommend, that's tactic number 4. And it says this: as leads become fewer, you must recognize the situation and make a more concerted effort to generate them. So if there are fewer leads, then guess what? You got to go to work to generate the leads. This isn't the stumble upon the lucky market. It's not that anymore. You have to go get the business. It says this, you can't sit back. You must be more rigorous and resolute in your lead generation than ever before, and more so than anyone else. That's pretty deep. You must be more resolute than anyone else. In fact, now is the time to shift your lead generation activities into the highest gear possible. The cause and challenge of a shift is simply one word. Let me repeat this to you again. The cause and challenge of a shift is simply one word. Guess what the one word is? Motivation. When a market has shifted, what has really happened is that buyers and seller motivation has changed. Now, do you think a lot of buyer motivation has changed now the interest rates are 7.25? Yes or no? Anybody? Do you think there were some people that were motivated when the interest rates were 3, 2, 3?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
okay. Now, some of those people didn't buy a house, and now the interest rates have crossed the 7% threshold.
Exactly.
A lot of those people are no longer what? Motivated. That's what I said to you guys earlier. Make sure you're really selective on who you're going to work with. You want to work with people that have to buy or sell. Let me repeat this. You want to work with people that have to buy or sell. Okay, coach, what do you mean by that? Well, do you think a person that's getting a job transfer to Charlotte and they have a house to sell and they're going to buy a house in Charlotte, do you think they're not going to make the move because interest rates are 7%? They're going to make the move to take the job. Okay, if you've got a situation where someone, I don't know, one of the other things that drive home sales sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes is divorce. So guess what? We don't want to be in the same house anymore. It's not working. So even though the interest rates are 7%, guess what? To get away from you, then I'll pay 7%. Matter of fact, is if it go to 9, I'll pay that. If I can get a fresh start. Now, I ain't wishing that on anybody, but those people have to do it because the interest rates are not going to affect them in terms of their decision to make a move if they have to do it. So again, go back to those questions when you're going to work with someone and check these things. Does this person have urgency, motivation, qualification, and are they coachable? Because some people, their thing is going to be that they know more real estate than you. They're not going to listen to you. They saw what somebody said on YouTube. They saw what something was on Zillow. So that's their gospel. Not you, Zillow, YouTube, any of those things. All right. Now, the other thing, when you have listings, you have more control of your time. Now, being on here with you guys this evening, I'm seeing a few of you have some young assistants that you have in training. I see them on the screen. I see a couple of y'all got some young assistants there. Don't look like they're old enough to get their license yet, but they're on the Zoom, they're getting trained. So guess what? And probably the majority of you are probably dual career, which means you work another job. Okay, so working another job, having a family, maybe you have a significant other, maybe you have even another business that you're running, and some of you may even be in school. In addition to that, now the school may be online, it may be in person. So if you had a lot of buyers, how much time would you have to take those people out? Right? Whereas if you have listings, other agents are calling you to say, hey, is that listing still available? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's look at number 5 that's on your your manual number 5. The other reason too is generally you're pricing that listing and you're asking that seller for the brokerage fee that you desire. On the other side of the transaction, whatever the listing agent is paying, that's what you're going to receive.
Say that one more time.
If you have the listing and you go out, let's say that you come and you talk to me and I say that I want to sell. I'm going to retire from coaching and I'm going to move to Florida. How about that? I'm going to move to Florida. Although I might stop in Atlanta, but I'm going to move to Florida. And you come out and you look at my house and you tell me what you are estimating the range of value is for me to sell the house. Then you also let me know what your brokerage fee is that you're going to charge for doing it. The other thing too, let me drop this on you real quick. I'd recommend staying away from the term commission and start implementing the verbiage professional fee, fee for service, or brokerage fee, as opposed to commission. People don't like to pay commissions. People don't like you making a commission off of them. Now, a brokerage fee is a what? Commission. A professional fee is a commission. A fee for service is a commission. But guess what? You're charging them a fee, a professional fee, because you're providing a professional service. So if I'm a seller, I feel I'm getting something of value other than just paying you a commission. Words matter. Believe me, words matter. I'm gonna share one other thing with you. I'm currently working with coaching clients in the morning. We do something called Command Your Day. We affectionately, for short, call it CYD. Command Your Day. And there's a book that I'm going to recommend to you. And I don't think I left my, oh, here it is right here. And the book is called this. The book is called Exactly What to Say. Exactly What to Say. The book is by Phil, Philm Jones. You can get the book on Amazon. The book is $13.49 currently. I just had someone order it. You want the real estate version because there's a version of this, which is this one. This one is not the real estate version. The one with the orange and black cover, that's not the real estate version. This is not the one you want. You want this one. This one right here. This is the real estate version. It has 31 techniques in it that will help you to secure more opportunities and close more sales. Exactly what to say. So I want you to be open-minded to making sure that you order that book. And one of the techniques in the book is called, Would You Be Open-Minded? That's one of the techniques. Another one is, I'd like you to do me a small favor and get the book. So, you know what? Alicia, would you do me a small favor and see if you can just go online to Audible and just see if they have the audio version of Exactly What to Say. Now,
You said it's online by Audible?
uh-huh. So do me a small favor and just see if you see that book.
Audible.
All right. Now I'm gonna keep pushing. Oh, if you do, I would highly recommend that you start building an Audible library so that when you're driving, when your hands are busy and your mind is free, that you can continue to learn. You can continue to grow. So get the book. That's the real estate version. So I'd like you to get it on audio and have the book because sometimes you don't have the opportunity to read. However, you're in your car every day. And I know Alicia has some daycare drop-offs, I'm sure.
Oh no, I'm a godmother. I'm not a mother.
Oh,
about-
you still have drop-offs. You still doing something. That don't exempt you. Don't
I'm like,
play, don't play that. That don't exempt you. All right. Because I see a lot of love right there. So I know you doing something because I can see the love. I can
no,
see it.
she's connected, and I'm the godmother. She's connected.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's the good news. All right. Now, I just dropped 2 techniques from the book. One of them was when I said, do me a small favor. And the other was, the good news is, those are techniques in the book. All right. All right. I'm not going to quote the page numbers right now because I want to keep pushing because we got a lot to cover. All right. Properly marketed, your seller listing brings you additional business. If you look at page number 15.5, there's a diagram on 15.5, and it shows you the seller service cycle. All right, step number 1 is lead conversion. Just because you have an opportunity doesn't mean that it gets converted. So you've got to work on your conversion. And the book, Exactly What to Say, will help you with that. I don't know. Maybe if you want to, maybe if you may want to jump on with us on Command Your Day, we do that in the morning. If you want to jump on Command Your Day, we do that from 9 to 10. So if you want to join my coaching group in the morning from 9 to 10, where we work on dialogues, techniques, scripting, handling objections, if you want to jump on that, let me put my phone number in the chat. I'm gonna put my phone number in the chat, and let me put that in here real quick. I'm gonna put my phone number in, and we do it via Zoom. And you're welcome to join us. All right. I just put it in the chat. Coach T 202. There's the number 997-0129. We'll be on tomorrow morning. We're on Monday through Friday, 9 to 10. All right. Now make sure you order the book because I'm going to say when we're on there, turn to this page or that page. So be prepared and have your material. All right. Now, the next step in the 7-step seller service cycle. Oh, any questions thus far? Any questions thus far on anything we've covered to this point? Any questions? Carmen, you good? Okay. All right. Catherine, you good? I guess.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. All right. I see Kim is on. I see her name, and and it ain't that
FIFA.
hard.
It's like soccer. It's like soccer. FIFA soccer.
FIFA.
FIFA. Yeah,
FIFA.
real easy. You can call me Fee. My friends call me Fee. Maybe that's
Okay,
easier.
Fee. Okay, thank you.
I'm watching Alicia over here talking about she a godmom, but she doing some mom duties over there.
Yeah, she putting in some mom work in there. Yeah, I see it. All right. Now look, step number 2. Have somebody in your market center or your coach help you to put together a pre-listing package. Many agents aren't doing this. Listings can be competitive. You want something that can set you apart. So think about this. A pre-listing package, basically what you're doing is you're pre-selling yourself before you go on the appointment. So you're sharing some information about yourself, about the brokerage, about maybe what's going on in the current real estate market. You may have some tips in there. You may have samples of marketing that you may do on that property. Now, You can differentiate yourself because a seller may choose you simply because you did some homework and you went the extra mile. In the Shift book, which I was speaking to you guys about, one of the things it says, Gary says in the book, is you guys have come into real estate in the market of extra effort. What people were doing last year, a lot of those things aren't working. You're in a market of extra effort. Now, here's the thing too. I really want you guys to position yourselves the right way being new and getting into business. Because it's projected this year that anywhere from 400,000 to 500,000 real estate agents will be out of the business this year. Now, there are a number of reasons for it. And part of it is increased interest rates, fewer transactions, and some agents haven't developed the skill to stay in this market. Because in this market, in my opinion, you need to be a hunter and not so much a farmer. Well, what do I mean by that? A farmer is typically tilling the soil, fertilizing the soil, watering it, got some seeds down, and praying that they're going to get great weather. And then they got to sit back, hope everything goes right, and wait. Whereas a hunter, I'm out here like this. And if I don't kill nothing, guess what? You don't eat. So in the market that we're in now, the thing that's got to go to the top of your list is a couple of things. The number one thing here is, I would say this to you too, because I forgot this. Figure out what days of the week your real estate business will be open. What days of the week will your real estate business be open? And I don't recommend that it be open 7 days a week. I don't recommend 7 days a week. Because out here, oh, coach, my business is going to be open 24/7. I don't recommend that. I know agents that have a voicemail message that says, guess what? That they're available 24/7. Well, do you want to have a life? At some point, you've got to take care of you, because guess what? You are the business, right? You are the business. So figure out what days of the week your business will be open, and also what hours do you have available to you on those days? So what days of the week, what hours do you have available for your business? All right. And then your lead generation would be one of the first things that goes in that time slot. All right. All right. So pre-list package. All right. So have someone in your market center help you to put together a pre-list package. All right. Some of the things in your pre-list package, again, would be information on you, information on the brokerage, information on the market, and information on any of the models, systems, and tools that you would use to help get their house sold. Okay, and there's some other things that you can add as well. All right, next is your listing consultation. Now, the pre-list package is a little different from your listing consultation. So you're not going to have everything in your listing consultation that was in your pre-list package, because you're basically pre-selling yourself. Okay, if you're pre-selling yourself, what it does is it cuts down the amount of time you should even be on that consultation. And notice the words that were used. It didn't say listing presentation. It said listing consultation. Let me give you a tip. And I used to coach this differently because I was taught that way. Oh, when you go on a listing presentation, when you go on a listing presentation, that was driven in my head. There's a difference between a presentation and a consultation. Because typically, if you see yourself going on a presentation, what you normally do is talk, present. Because you think, well, I'm in real estate. They want to know this information, so it's my job to give them this information, give them information. Well, which do you feel is more valuable? A presentation or a consultation? Which would you pay more for? A presentation or a consultation? Now, here's what I've heard a little bit different traveling the country at different events. I've heard two agents say this. It's so funny. One agent I heard say this, and he's local. Then I was out of state. I was in, went to Mega Camp. I was in Austin at Mega Camp. And I heard another agent, she said the same thing. Now what some agents are starting to say they're doing, instead of even presentation, consultation, they're saying they're doing a seller strategy session. A seller strategy session. And when I first heard it, I was wedded more to the consultation thing because that's what I was coaching and teaching. But then when I heard it that second time, I thought about that. Because a strategy session, in my mind, is more collaborative. So they're joining forces with you. You have a strategy session. And typically, if you're strategizing to do what? Get the house sold. So I just thought I'd just share that with you. That's what I'm hearing. All right. That was step number 3. Step number 4 is servicing and marketing. Here's one of the things that you want to do on servicing and marketing. You want to give people world-class service. Somebody that's really known for doing well with that, Ritz-Carlton. I was reading a book too recently of what Chick-fil-A does. There's a bunch of people out here selling chicken sandwiches. So why does Chick-fil-A have a line from the morning to the night and they're not even open on Sunday? So you're doing so good, you don't even have to be open on Sunday. No. I'm holding up these chicken sandwiches till Monday. Y'all ain't getting none of these chicken sandwiches on Sunday. See me on Monday. See me on Monday. And guess what? When you're in Chick-fil-A, their conversation is my pleasure. You ain't getting no my pleasure in Burger King. You ain't getting no my pleasure in Wendy's. You ain't getting no my pleasure in McDonald's. And they certainly don't call you a guest. When the last time they call you a guest in McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King? Like never. Little things matter. Little things matter. I was coaching on this point today, so I'm going to take a little slight, I don't think it's so much a detour, but a little slight segue real quick, because I want to share something with you, because with you guys being new, your biggest challenge is going to be having enough possible leads. That's going to be your biggest challenge. Because if you remember this, if you don't have leads, you don't have appointments. And if you don't have appointments, you have no possibility of making money. So if you have no leads, you don't have any appointments. Okay? And in the shift book, they take a little harder stance on what is a lead. And what they say a lead is in shift, a lead is you getting a person's contact information, name, phone number, email, and you've set an appointment. That's what they consider a lead. Not that somebody told you to call, Don Brooks. That ain't no lead. You got an appointment with Don Brooks? All you got is Don Brooks' name and a phone number. So it's a little bit different. Here's where I'm going. In this market, you can't afford to make small mistakes. You can't afford to do it. And I'm taking a little slight segue because I've seen so many agents do this. And I coached on this today. Number one thing, all of you guys, especially with you guys being new, you need to make sure, number one, that you're wearing your name tag everywhere you go. You're wearing that name badge. Don't leave home without it. Failure to wear your name badge can easily cost you anywhere from 4 to 5 transactions in a year or more. Now, I'm in an area where our average sales price is it's a little more than 400,000, but for the sake of round numbers, let's just go with 400,000. And at the average brokerage fees we're seeing in the market, that's $10,000. So if you lost 5 of those, you just lost $50,000 because you're not wearing your name badge. How hard is that? That's not smart to not do that. You're costing yourself money. Because think about it. Anytime you go somewhere and somebody has a name badge on, you're going to attempt to read it. Yes or yes? Yes. Because you always want to know what is somebody's name. Okay? Now, one of my coaching clients, what she does is she kicked it up a notch. She puts her name tag on upside down because people are going to correct her. So she don't have to start the real estate conversation. She off into the races. Oh, let me see. Oh, your name, because people always want to be helpful. They want to be helpful. So they look at that. Oh, Alicia, you got your name tag on upside down. Oh, really? Oh, being in real estate, I'm always ripping and running. And girl, what? I'm in a real estate conversation immediately. Oh, being in real estate, I'm always ripping and running. I'm in one house and out at the next house or at an open house, or either I'm helping somebody to build wealth through home ownership. Are you a homeowner? Oh, well, why don't I do this? I don't mind. Why don't I make sure I get your contact information so that you could take the next step in wealth building? Name badge. Oh, okay. The other one. Please don't do this with your phone number. I can call sometimes my coaching clients, and here's what I get. You have reached 240-739-1280. How is that making you any money? How? That's not making you any money. Where's the real estate message? Here's the other thing too. You guys are super fortunate because you joined the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. Let me repeat that to you again. You affiliated with the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. And yet, when I call, there's no mention that the person is even with Keller Williams. They don't even come up. So you might as well be with Mary Poppins Realty or Lil Bo Peep Realty. Lil Bo Peep ain't got no claim to fame. So you putting yourself on the same level as Lil Bo Peep? Lil Bo Peep can't say they #1. They can't say they number 200, let alone you #1. That's powerful. Hello, you've reached Carmen with Keller Williams Realty, the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. I'm currently on a seller appointment or in a listing consultation. However, if you are a buyer, I'm always out looking for that next great home for you. Please be sure to leave your phone number, including area code, even if you think I have it. So get their phone number. I left out the email address, your phone number and email address, even if you think I have it. Now that's a message can make you some money. You have
Can
reached
you say that again?
240-719-2086. How's that making you any money?
We need you to say Carmen's voicemail again, please.
Excuse me?
I said, can you say Carmen's voicemail again, please?
Oh, say Carmen's voicemail again. Hi, you have reached Carmen with Keller Williams Realty, the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. I'm currently on a listing consultation or listing appointment. However, if you are a buyer, I'm always out looking for that next great home for you. Please be sure to leave your phone number and email address, including area code, even if you think I have it. And then whatever, have a beautiful day, whatever your salutation is. All right, last thing on this, because I didn't mean to really, but I was just thinking of this because I was coaching this today. The other thing too, I would highly recommend that your phone pick up and not after it rings 6 or 7 times. Because there's some people that's not going to wait for your phone, your answer, your message to pick up after 7 times. and I'm one of them. So try to cut that down to like 3 and have your phone pick up and have a real estate message. Okay? Those are little things that cost you money, and they're easily correctable. Little things. On the name badge thing, I would order 2 of them. Keep one in your car at all time. And what's going to happen? You're going to lose one of them. I can tell you that now. One of them's going to get lost. So while you're ordering, just order 2 of them. Lastly, please make sure that you get Keller Williams career apparel, Keller Williams gear. So you can go to the KW red label, I believe. You'll easily find it. Because I see people, they're wearing, they're wearing Coach, DNKY, rocking all of these other designer things, but you want to rep your brand. You want to wear your stuff when you out on the weekend. You're going to pump some gas. You're going to a cookout. You're going to a school for something. You're going to the run for the breast cancer cure. Any of those things. Have your gear on. That sparks conversations. You need leads. You need people coming to you, because a lot of agents are not going to want to do the work of picking up a phone. All right, let me move on, because I don't want to get down too far. That's not on here for me to be going with that. But let me move on. All right, next. We talked about servicing and marketing. Make sure you're doing that. And make sure you have good follow-up. Some agents, that's where they fall down, is on their follow-up. Anytime you get a lead, you want to put that lead into command. I'm not getting into command tonight, but that's Keller Williams platform. You want to put that's your database, put your leads into command. Get people on what's called smart plans. All right, I'm going to keep pushing. Offers and negotiations. You want to make sure that when offers are written, that you're able to negotiate them to get them accepted. Because if they don't get accepted, then guess what? That seller isn't selling, that buyer isn't buying, and you're not getting paid, and the brokerage is not getting paid as well. So we want a win-win situation for everyone. All right, contract to close. You want to have a checklist. Once you get a transaction, have a checklist of everything you need to do to get that transaction to the closing table. Make it easy on yourself so that you don't forget anything. And when you are new, you're not going to know everything. You're not going to even know all of the things you need because you're new. All right. And run that by somebody in your market center. And I trust that all of you would be in coaching, in productivity coaching. Now, I know in some market centers, they might be in transition with their PC coach, that type of thing. But get in coaching. Please do yourself a favor. Get in coaching. All right. Now, that was number 6. Number 7 is post-close systems. So after you close, guess what? You want to become that person's realtor for life. Because statistics show that the average person will do multiple real estate transactions in their lifetime. The easiest people to work with are people that already know you, like you, and trust you, and they've done business with you in the past. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, so that's the servicing cycle on that. Any questions on any of that? All right, next is get the appointment. Keys to converting your A sellers. Now, your A seller would probably fall in that category, ready, willing, able, wants to do something in how many days? 14. That's your A seller. All right, respond right away to lead inquiries. What I see happening, especially in the age that we're in now, where everything is digital and technology, many times people are contacting multiple agents. So never think that because somebody contacted you online, that they're not contacting somebody else. Never take that for granted and think you're the only one. A lot of online people have no loyalty. So don't fall into that trap. Okay? All right. Also, get valid and complete contact information and save it in command. Look, be skillful that when you're talking to someone ask for the person's contact information. You don't want just a name and you've got a phone number. You want a name, a phone number, and email address. Okay? Now, I'll drop this on you. A way that is a good way to get people's email address. So if I'm talking to a FIFA on the phone and I say, oh, Afifa, it was great talking to you today. And let's see, I've got your, is this your cell phone number? Is this your cell phone number? Okay.
Yes, it
great,
is.
great, great. Okay, beautiful. Afifa, what's the best email for you? Okay.
That would be akish@kw.
Okay. Now notice I didn't ask her, what is your email address? I said, what's the best email address for you? Not, can I have your email address? Would you mind giving me your email address? Would it be okay if you gave me your email address? Afifa, what's the best email address to contact you? Okay. All right. So get complete contact information. Now, on that complete contact information, get people's physical addresses, get their home addresses. Most salespeople a lot of times don't get people's home address because they have something in command, which is your neighborhood nurtures, that lets people know what's going on in their community. That's the number one thing that most people want to know. What's going on in my community? Are the prices going up? Are the prices going down? Are there any active homes available for sale? Has anything sold in my community? That's what people are interested in. That's like you guys. You're probably interested in what's going on in your community. I could send you something on another community, but is your interest going to be as great as your own community? Probably not, unless you're thinking about moving to that community. Okay? All right. Now, this is key. Number 3, determine their motivation to sell so you can speak to it. Anybody you're going to work with in this market, whether it's a seller or a buyer, make sure you're asking questions around their motivation. Make sure you're asking questions around their motivation. And great questions around that would be, one of them would be, well, just out of curiosity, help me understand why you guys are considering selling. Help me understand. Help me understand. Another great question along those lines would also be, other than help me understand, another one would be, how important is that to you? How important is that to you? How important is that to you? Now, these are open-ended questions. And it gives you insight into their motivation. Okay? All right. So you want to get great at asking great questions. So let me ask you guys this. When you do sell, what happens next? What happens next? Another great one is, well, what makes you say that? Oh, what makes you guys say that? Okay. All right. Now, those are examples right out of exactly what to say. Those are techniques. The techniques are numbered 1 through 32. So again, if you want to jump on with us on Command Your Day in the mornings, I put my phone number in the chat. You can email me. You can text me with your email address because it's on Zoom. So I need to know your email address to send you the link. Okay? All right. Where are we at now? But that motivation thing is key. And 2, when the person gives you their motivation, go 3 deep. Make sure that you're not water skiing, but scuba diving. Go scuba diving, not water skiing. Well, why do you guys want to sell? Because we want to move. What? Okay, answer. When I sell your house, I would hope that you would move. So they're moving for a reason. So tell me more. When you say you want to move, tell me more. Oh, okay. So what would that really look like to you? Okay, so by moving, what would it allow you to do that you presently are not able to do? So let me ask you guys this. On a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the highest, and you couldn't select 7, where would you say you fall on that scale for your motivation? Now, if somebody's giving you a 6, they're not motivated. They're 6. They can't choose 7. Oh, we're an 8. Oh, okay, great. So what would make you a 10? Ooh, this is the stuff that we do, okay? So these are the dialogues that you're going to need so that you can work with people and help people to make the best decisions for them. We're not trying to manipulate anybody. You're talking to them for a reason. They obviously do want to sell, so you're not going to motivate somebody to sell that doesn't want to sell. You're just going to help somebody make the decision to move forward. Let me give you this too while I'm thinking about it. To kind of buffer your fear of maybe lead generation, of picking the phone up, talking to people and calling people. And it's in the shift book. And one of the things it says is, when you're making lead generation calls, just think of it this way. You're making calls for people to make a decision of either yes or no. Now, if I call you, and I don't know, I'll just use an example, you're an expired listing. So you were someone that had your house on the market and it didn't sell. Okay, so you're open, available to anyone else as a real estate professional to call you as long as you're not on the do not call list, because we're going to stick with the TCPA, Telephone Consumer Protection Act. We're going to stay where we need to be. So when I'm calling you, here's what I'm calling you. I'm calling for you to tell me either yes or no. But I'm not going to get all bent out of shape because you said no to me, because I'm not invested in the outcome of the answer. All I want is an answer. So if you tell me no, guess what? You gave me an answer. That's why I called. If you say yes, okay, then let me see how we can take this further for me to help you. That's all you want is a decision. Don't get caught up on if the decision is no. Okay, the decision was no, but at least you got what? An answer. So you might want to approach it that way, because a lot of times we take it personally. One of the things that I find hard for us as adults is our feelings get hurt very easily because a lot of times our egos are very fragile. Well, Coach, what do you mean by that? Because as adults, it's rare, if you look at going day to day, it's rare as an adult that anyone tells you no. When do you hear no? When does somebody say no to you as an adult? Like hardly ever. Nobody will say no to you. So now, guess what? So yes, and I noticed in the computer network your home is no longer available for sale, and I was calling to ask if you're still considering selling it now or in the near future. No. Oh no! Out of here. It's next. You gave me a decision. The answer was no. So guess what? I move on. I'm not slitting my wrist because you said no. You didn't change my lifestyle because you said no, right? Okay, so you want a decision. All right. We talked about the motivation. Please make sure you put a star beside that motivation, because in this market, you've got to work with the motivated. Do not fool with people that are not truly motivated. Set an appointment time and a date for as soon as possible. and then you send out your pre-list package. You want to get your pre-list package out prior to your appointment. You want to get your pre-list package out prior to your appointment. Now, there's ways you can do it. It all depends on how you want to do it. You want to establish your brand. What does your brand look like? Me, depending on how you're going to do it, you could have somebody deliver the pre-list package for you. You could have the pre-list package delivered by FedEx. You could have the pre-list package delivered to maybe where their business or where they work. And guess what? When they open up that FedEx box, I want my pre-list package to be looking nice because they're going to show it to some of their coworkers. They're going to definitely, people are nosy. People are nosy. They see a box come in, you opening up, they opening the box. Girl, what's that? Oh, that's that's from your real estate agent sent you that? Oh, wow. Oh, let me see. Like the people that ear hustle on your phone calls, that have nothing to do with them, but they ear hustling. And then they start talking to you about the conversation that they had nothing to do with. Yeah, I heard you say that you was going to order them flowers. Where you ordering the flowers? You heard what? You were not even, I wasn't even talking to you. So again, what's your brand? What's your image? Sometimes you may have to spend a little bit more money to have a better image. Something that separates you from the other people, that separates you from the pack. And as much as pre-listing packages have been taught, very few agents do it. Very few. And when you're a new agent, you need everything, you need all of the odds in your favor being new. You need it. Because typically being new, you don't have a track record. So you got to impress. You got to have a wow factor. You can't be ordinary. You can't be the agent from Mary Poppins Realty, Lil Bo Peep. You can't be looking like Lil Bo Peep. You better be looking, you better be Kellerized because we go first class. All right. So think about your image. Think about your image. What are you trying to brand out here? You want this little cheap, slocky, knocked off stuff? The paper been photocopied 85 times, sliding off the page, and you taking that's part of your pre-list package? Okay. All right. Help the sellers price the home competitively. When you're new, get with somebody in your market center because they are versed in really the comparables because they've sold in some of these neighborhoods. You're just getting your start. And in this market, it's really dangerous to price the house wrong from the beginning. Because what can happen is you can start chasing the market down and you keep looking for price reductions. And guess what? By the time you make a price reduction, the market could have slid further. So you never hit bottom. And guess what? Your listing expired and another agent has your listing. And listings right now are gold. You can't afford to lose a listing. You can't afford to get a listing and then you lose it. It's challenging to get it in the first place. All right.
Is that called is that a CMA or no?
Comparative market analysis.
Oh, okay.
Yes, CMA. Some people will say comparative, some people will say competitive. Help the seller market their home to potential buyers. Help the seller sell the home within a specific time frame. This is what sellers most want from their agents. 21% of sellers want the agent to help them price the home competitively. 20% of the sellers, they want the agent to market their home to potential buyers. 16% of them, they want the home to sell within a specific time frame. So how long is it going to take you? The better the home is priced, the quicker the home will sell. Okay? 16% of the sellers want help finding ways to fix up their home to sell it for more money. So those are just some things for you guys to keep in mind. All right? Build confidence and trust with your sellers. Also, I would say, if you take a listing, make it a point to have a date, and I would say select one day of the week of when you follow up with your sellers. What I used to do is I would follow up and give my sellers a report on Friday. So every Friday, I'm going to give you a report on the activity for your house. And sometimes you're going to have a week where nothing happened. Nobody even showed it. But guess what? I don't want to say, well, nobody showed the house, so I didn't call them. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call you and share, well, this is what we did this week. Now, our efforts didn't lead to us getting a qualified buyer. Now, we're going to make some adjustments, and here's what I'm planning for next week. So every Friday, or it don't have to be Friday, your day can be, you choose whatever day it is. That was just the day I happened to choose, because it's at the end of the week, every Friday. Give them an update, whether you don't even have any new news, because you want to maintain and keep that listing. Also, I'd recommend not taking your listings for short terms like 30 days, 60 days, stuff like that. If you can get your listing agreement for 6 months or more, I would take it for 6 months or more. Now, it doesn't mean you're trying to take 6 months to sell it, but I don't want to take a listings for 30 days because the first 2 weeks is when you get the most activity generally on a property. And then you've got some setup to do. So I don't want my listing then expiring and another agent is coming. I done spent money. I done this, done that, promoting it. And now I don't even have a listing anymore. No. Okay. All right. Seven close to appointment tactics. Show the benefits. These are different closes that you may need to learn. They have the take back close, the negative positive close. Give them what they're looking for, the trial close, the assumptive close, tie downs. Those are something that we do in the mornings with our group. So, one of the things that I want to make sure, Alicia, is that we get the most money possible for your house. And I'm sure that that's what you want as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so is that right as a tie down? Does that make sense? That's the tie down. That is what you want. That's a tie down. So it's something that the person is going to answer yes to. Okay. All right. And that sort of was an assumptive close. Well, I'm sure that you would want more money. Who doesn't want more money? Okay. She got some stuff that I know she's buying gifts and she got some stuff going on back there that she's spending money on. We done all seen that because she can't say she's not spending any money on that. She can't say that. She's already done it. All right, I'm not going to go through the pre-list package. You see that on, what's that, 15.8. The pre-listing package goals is the pre-sale save times, state your value. It gives you the components, tells you how to build your pre-list package. You guys can look at that on your own. Your seller consultation preparation checklist, deliver your pre-list package on time as promised. Actually, the words as promised is in exactly what to say. So let's see. Let's see who else is on. Who got their camera up? I'm only can go with people get. You got camera up, I go with you. You ain't got a camera up, I can't work with you. Because I got to read facial expressions and body language. Let me give Kim Jackson some play over here. So Kim, as I was giving you, hey Kim, thank you for taking my call. Hey Kim, as promised, I wanted to make sure that you did get the pre-list package that I sent out to you yesterday. Did you receive it, Kim?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a technique in the book, as promised. As promised. People feel good about it when you could call somebody and say that you promised to do something and you delivered on it. Because a lot of people don't. How many of you have had somebody that was coming to your house to maybe fix your hot water heater, give you an estimate on painting the house or carpet? They showed up late or they didn't even show up. How did that make you feel? So just imagine if you had someone calling you back and they're saying, well, Kim, as promised, did you get the information from the CMA that I sent? So you're a person of your word. As think about how good that is to start that call off with something you delivered on. Because so many people fall short. Does that make sense, guys? All right. Also, ensure all decision makers are going to be present. If it's a fiance, husband and wife type situation, make sure that both parties are there. And especially if both parties are on the deed, you need both signatures. So presenting to one person, I don't really recommend it because that one person that you met with, they now have to share the information with the other person that wasn't there. Do you think they're going to give that information exactly the way you gave it to the other person. No. How many times have you seen that experiment where they'll have some people in a room and they'll start with the first person and they'll give them a sentence and then they'll say, whisper that in the next person's ear. And they keep going all the way down the line. And when you get to the end, it's not even the sentence that was originally given. So avoid that. Avoid that. Be very careful with that because a lot of times there's different dynamics going on. Because sometimes you could go out and let's say, because it's mainly more ladies on here than anyone else tonight, because you guys make up the majority of agents that are in real estate. There's more women in real estate than men. And typically, the women have proved to be very, very highly successful in real estate. So thank you for being on. Here's the other part of it. Sometimes you go out, let's just say that it was the husband. The wife is a nurse, she's working a double shift. Okay, you leave your card. The next day, the husband speaks to the wife and he tells her the price and tells her what the brokerage fee is. And they look at the wife looks at the card and looks at your photo. Oh, this is who was over here? Oh, I see why you want to yeah, I see why you want to list with her. And and you was going to pay her how much? What? No. Give me that card. Yeah, can I speak to Ellen? Yeah, that's all right. You don't need to come out. Now, it can go the other way too, because it can be a dude. It can go the other way. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see why he looks like he work out at Gold Gym. Y'all buffed up. Why he got a muscle shirt on to come on this appointment? They don't have no more suit and ties? Nah, we ain't going with him. No, we ain't doing that. So I'm not saying that's always going to be what's going to happen, but you got to be careful. You want both of the decision makers there. You want both people there. So be careful of running appointments because you need both of them. If they're on the deed, you need both signatures. And sometimes the person don't have to be on it because sometimes you know who the decision maker is. Some families, it's the husband. Some families, it's the wife. Some families, they make mutual decisions together. Okay? All right. So have the decision makers there so that you're running one appointment. Hopefully you're getting the agency agreement authorized and you're off to helping that family to be able to move on to the next chapter in their life. The other thing too, here's a kiss of death for you. Never show up at a listing consultation late. Don't do that. And I see that happening because sometimes what I see, agents are preparing their materials like 20 minutes before they have the appointment. They're in the office running around. And when you're under that type of pressure, generally something always goes wrong. That'll be the day the copy is not working. That'll be the day that there's no toner and there's no ink for it to be color. Now you're going out with something black and white or not at all. Do not be late. And the family may not say anything to you, but believe me, they've registered that, even if they don't say anything to you. Because think about it. If you're going out, and let's say it's a $400,000, I don't care the price of the house, but just think about the brokerage fee associated with that. You're asking somebody to pay you that amount of money, and you can't show up on time to talk to them? You're asking me to give up this amount of my equity, and you're late. That's horrible. That's horrible. And that's an immediate strike against you coming in the door. So make sure you prepare your materials much earlier. All right, look, when you go out on a listing consultation, I ask some of my coaching clients this, and I say this to them. When you go out and you do your listing consultation and you present a CMA, why do you present a CMA? And I get all different kind of answers. In my opinion, the reason that you're presenting the CMA is to get a decision. Some agents go out and they say this, oh, I'm going out tomorrow and I'm going to present a CMA. There's a difference, in my opinion, because this is the world according to me. between going out to present a CMA and going out to take a listing. So when you're going out, you're not going out just to share information with people. You're sharing the information for them to do what? Make a decision. And it's okay if the decision is no. At least you got a decision. I would rather have a no than a maybe that'll never materialize. Okay? So when you go out, you're going out to get an appointment, because NAR statistics show that if you go out to that house and you don't get that listing agreement authorized, you reduced your chances by over 70% of it ever getting authorized. And I've been there. And I'm sharing some things with you guys because the first 5 years I was in real estate, I was not a listing agent. The first 5 years. I wish someone would have coached me and taught me, and that there was an ignite at the time that I started. Now, the strange thing about it though, I was the number 2 agent in my office. I was the number 2 agent, and I didn't have any listings. But my thing was, what's the problem? I'm the number 2 agent in the office. I'm doing good. But I wasn't realizing I was freaking killing myself. I was working 7 days a week in real estate. I was working Saturday and I was working Sunday because I was showing on Saturday because I worked during the week, and I did real estate during the week, and I showed on Saturday. I did open houses on Sunday. So I was like never home. And some of you going to get consumed with real estate. I would just caution you to keep it between the lines and keep it in moderation. Because you can break up families with real estate of you're always gone. So think about your business hours and set some business hours. Because money is nice, but if it's going to destroy a relationship, what was it worth? Well, what was it worth? Oh, I got a bunch of money. Okay, so be real happy, and just kind of think about it a little bit. What else? Share your price recommendations with the sellers. And the reason behind where you are. Be very careful. I would advise you to be a little more conservative in the climate that we're in, and that you price it right. Run that CMA by your broker, run it by your TL, your team leader, your PC coach. Let them take a look at it. I have coaching clients, my coaching clients today, because I've been doing it so long, a lot of times I'll tell them to take a picture of the house, bring their phone back, and come back, and they'll show me the house, and especially if they have the rooms and they show me the exterior of the house. And a lot of times I can give them a range of value just from the pictures that they've shown me. I've never been to the house, but I have a good idea of that. So, have them help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Also, think about this. Typically, there are generally 3 things that sellers are concerned with in selling their house. The 3 things typically fall into pricing. Write this down. Write this down because y'all haven't done this. Write this down. Write this down. The 3 things that really are on sellers' minds is typically pricing, timing, or convenience. Pricing, timing, convenience. All right, I'm going to explain it. All right, typically when you go out on a listing appointment, if I had to guess it, I would say about 70% of the time, it's going to be pricing. It's going to be the money. 20% of the time, it's going to be timing. Because sometimes somebody has to be somewhere by a certain amount of time. So if I'm going to be the new regional director for MedStar in the southern states, and I'm going to have 4 states, and I'm going to be making $50,000 more as the director, they're going to give me a condo and a company car. Do I need you to squeeze me another $10,000 out of the property? Or do I need to be down there to get that company car and to get that condo and to now start supervising 300 people? So for everybody, it's not always the money. Now, sometimes it's the convenience. Okay, I'm a person that's had, which I haven't, but I'm just using this as an example. Somebody has had triple bypass surgery. They're taking 10 medications a day to stay alive. Guess what? I don't need you bringing me a bunch of problems and stressing me out because I'm trying to stay alive. So I need an agent that's going to handle all of the problems. I don't need more money. Timing isn't my issue. I want to keep living. So does that kind of make sense? So you have to find out what's important to people, and your consultation is based around what's important to them, that you'll be able to achieve that if they select you. We good? Okay, beautiful. All right. How does each, let me see, anything else? You might customize second. I'm not doing that. Preparing for the listing consultation, listing walkthrough. I'm not going to get too deep into this. I would highly recommend, though, that you get yourself, when you're going on a listing consultation, that you get yourself a property inspection worksheet. And you get a clipboard. And you put that worksheet on the clipboard, and you are actually going and you're working where you're looking at stuff and you're making notes. So you're looking at the walls, you're looking at the ceiling fan, and you look up and the ceiling fan only has one blade on it. Hello. Were you guys planning on fixing that? Oh no, we weren't planning on fixing that. And then you turn the water on in the sink and flip the garbage disposal, and it sounds like a cat is inside the garbage disposal. So were you guys going to make any repairs? No, we're not doing that. Cut the faucet on, you flush the toilet, and the toilet just keeps running. So were you guys plan? Oh no, we ain't doing. Okay. And just out of curiosity, remind me, how much were you guys asking? Okay. Now they know you done went through and you done took the notes. So what's happening probably with the price? Okay. All right. Now, I'm not saying you be mean with it or anything like that. But and the other thing too, when you're doing that, people see that you are working. Because a lot of agents aren't going to do it. They're just going to come in the house and do this. Walk into the kitchen. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the master bedroom? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a nice family room. You ain't writing nothing. And you want me to pay you how much money? Well, what did you show me over here? I'm gonna pay you this just because off your looks. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So again, do your job when you go out there. You're getting paid a lot of money because this is these folks' equity. So you got to go to work. People have to feel that you're working for them. We get paid very good money. So I don't want to cheat anyone. Okay? All right. Then once you get the listing, make sure you get the paperwork done correctly, that you have what you need. Never go on a listing consultation and you cannot get them to authorize it either electronically or you have the physical copies. Also, even if you spoke to someone on the phone and they said they're not going to list with you or they're not going to sign any papers, take the papers. A lot of times people will change their mind. I've been on appointments where people have said that. And then a lot of times you go out there and they're like, because sometimes it'll be, let's say it's two of them. And you go out there and then one of them, you've done everything. You've given them the consultation. You're at the end, you're finished. And then you ask for the order. Always close, people. Always ask for the order. When I was first doing this, I told you the first 5 years I was in real estate, I wasn't a listing agent. I didn't have any listings. And I was bad. I wasn't good. And what happened, I started going on some consultations and I wasn't getting them. And I would be real transparent. And I really felt bad about myself because I was getting all dressed up, driving out to this appointment, got materials in somebody's house for an hour, hour and a half. And then I'm going back to the car with no signed agreement. And I didn't even have a good close. Here was my close. I would go through everything with them, present everything to them. And then when I would get to the end, I would say to them, okay, well, that's everything that I got. What do you folks think? We think we ain't listening with you. That's what we think. I mean, that was terrible. That was my close. What kind of close is that? That's like horrible. And I had to say to myself, I mean, because this is really being transparent, because I have gotten in my car some nights after I had done that and been out late, and I had family and been out late, and I wasn't getting the agreement signed because I didn't have any technique. I wasn't good. And I've sat in my car and actually cried. Most of the time, a guy ain't gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you, because I don't want that to happen to you guys. And I had to finally make the decision. I said, Tyrone, you're not good. You need to take the classes so that you can get the technique. And the class for you guys is going to be the next big class for you guys is going to be bold. And when I took, because I took a class, because I've been doing this a long time, that was the forerunner of bold. And when I took that class, my mindset was negative, because the first class I took, it was about 90 of us. And we were all in the room together. And I'm like, I don't like this, all of these people and stuff like that. And they giving you this stuff. I'm not no team player. And I finally, by the third class, like a little voice said inside my head, said, Tyrone, you need to stop being negative and you need to shut up and you need to participate and stop being all disgruntled. And when I stopped doing that and started becoming more receptive, when I graduated from that first class, it converted me into a listing agent because I loved the instructor that taught the class and I liked the way he taught it. And I said, I'm gonna try this stuff. And the difference between me and some of the other students, because I know some of these people to this day, and they don't apply any of that stuff that was taught. The difference for me was that I implemented it and I executed it and I tracked it. And that made the difference for me. From not having any listings for 5 years, not a listing agent. I wish someone would have given me what I'm giving you guys. So I'm saying to you guys right now, you guys are super fortunate because you're coming into the business the right way. You're coming into the business the right way. So there's a thing they teach in Bow. I'm gonna do it right now. Because here's what you got to be mindful of. They teach you this. Your programming leads to your thoughts. And your thoughts lead to your feelings. And your feelings lead to your actions. And your actions lead to your results. So be careful of how you're being programmed. Answer this too. When people are talking to you and they're saying different things to you, ask yourself this question. Is what they're sharing with me going to lead me closer to my goals, or is it going to take me away from my goals? Is what they're sharing with me going to lead me closer to my goals, or is it going to take me away from my goals? Because there's some negative people in real estate. There's some negative people. And some people don't want to see other people succeed either. Okay? All right. Oh,
Wait, I have a question.
yes.
So when you were saying like, I guess the closing, could you like make sure they signed the agreement papers? Um, what do you mean when you said closing? Could you like you was like, what type of closing is that? Like, no wonder you didn't get like the pay. Like, what do you mean?
Because I'm not,
Like what you supposed to say to them?
right now, the thing about this, I would love to be able to share and cover with you. However, in this short period of time that we have, that's a great question. However, I'm gonna have to give you an abbreviated answer for that. And the answer that I would give you on that would be this. when you really learn the art of the listing consultation, it shouldn't be that you get all the way to the end of it and you don't know whether they're going to authorize the paperwork or not. Because the consultation should have been done in a way that you would know that they're going to authorize it, and you have to know how and when to close. There's a saying, never sell with blah, blah, blah if you can sell with blah. Because sometimes you don't even have to do a complete listing consultation. The person's ready to sign.
Right.
But sometimes if you don't pick up on that, you're still presenting stuff. There's a thing called ABC, always be closing. ABC, always be closing. If you get the opportunity, I don't know if any of you have seen this. There's a movie called Glengarry Glen Ross. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. It's on Netflix. Glengarry Glen Ross. Look at Glengarry Glen Ross. It has a lot of stars in it. Alec Baldwin is in it. Al Pacino is in it. Jack Lemmon is in it. It's got a lot of stars. And one of the famous lines in the movie, because Alec Baldwin is the bad guy that they brought in from out of town. And it's these people were selling real estate. And one of the real estate agents goes to get some coffee. And Alec Baldwin says to him, coffee is for closers. So in other words, you're not getting a cup of coffee because you're not closing no business. Coffee is for closers. Coffee ain't for everybody. So take a look at Glengarry Glen Ross. So it's a little deeper for where you are. It's a little deeper for that. You want to learn closes. Because I went over some of like the trial close, a sharp angle close, a direct close. Those are some closes. All right, let me drop this on you because this is important. The Ignite daily success system is this. You want to make sure that every day you have 10 conversations, that you add 10 contacts to your database, and that you do 10 handwritten notes. And the 10 handwritten notes can be thank you notes. Somebody did something good for you. Do a handwritten note. Then they've got the 10-5-1 social media. And I believe that's like to look at 10 posts, respond to might be 5 DMs, direct messages, and then you do a post. Okay? All right. So conversation sheet, we did that. Ahas, we did that. Transaction, work with buyers and sellers. Let's see, is there anything on that? Success with clients. The other thing I would say too, when you have closings with people, this is just me. You don't have to do this, but I would always give people closing gifts. Because people want that to be memorable. You know what I'm saying? They want to leave with a nice taste in their mouth. And that stuff spreads on social media where you're there with them, they're all smiles, they're all happy, and you did a nicety for them. They're going to tell their friends about that. Okay? All right. I want you to take a look at this on your own on 16.4. It's the difference between a functionary and a fiduciary. A fiduciary operates at a higher level. A functionary typically does some of the like paperwork and things on that level. 3 steps to gaining referrals. Always ask for referrals. Always ask for referrals. Now, and start the process from the moment you start working with people. Now, we're talking about on the seller side. So if I went out on that consultation and I'm talking to them, I'm going to ask them, who else do they know that may be considering selling? All right. They authorize the paperwork. They have their first person come over to their house to look at the house. I'm going to ask for a referral. We get the offer that comes in. I'm going to ask for a referral. We get it under contract. I'm going to ask for a referral again. Because sometimes they don't give you that referral right away. The majority of agents wait until they're at closing to ask for the referral. Well, guess what? You asked me for the referral. Look, I'm gonna be really honest with you, Afifa. You're a great agent. It's been real, but We got the moving truck outside and everything was nice. Deuces, I'm out. Okay, that was your one shot. Whereas if you started asking from the beginning until you get it, okay? All right.
Purple.
All right, so I think I'm pretty.
Ooh. That because now he got that one might look like a pepperoni.
Who's that, Carlos?
He got two different ones now.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
gotta
the one
mute
you're
you.
talking
Carlos, we can hear you. Where you at? I don't have time to go through that, but we can hear you. I don't know. All right, any questions on anything that we've covered thus far? Any questions? Any questions? Nobody has questions? All right, they show you the 14-step marketing plan for your listings too on page 16.12. 16.12. All right.
Get the glove.
All right, we're pretty much at the end. We're pretty much at the end. So I've enjoyed being on with you guys. I hope that you were able to get some things that you could use in your business to help you really help your clients become the best agent that you could possibly be. And I need you to do one thing for me, though, if you would do me a small favor, and that would be, and I'm trying to find it and see, do I see it, is the evaluation form, because I would like to come back and do some other ignites, and I'm just scanning through here because I think they had a QR code or something. I don't know if anybody sees that. I'm trying to find the evaluation form. Is it at the very end? Maybe it's at the very end of this. So if you guys would do that for me, because you can go to, I'm still flipping through here. Let me get all the way to the end. Is this it? I don't see it. If you would do me a small favor and go to KW, I think it's kw.eval, EVAL, KW eval. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Because I'm gonna look at this real quick and see if I can see KW eval real quick. Let me see.
Coach T.
Yes.
Carmen posted it.
I think
Who
it's
did?
Carmen.
Carmen did that. Where Carmen at? I gotta send Carmen some love. Carmen, I gotta send you some. Carmen, Carmen, here you go. Send you some love. Where are you, Carmen? What state? Where you at?
I'm in the Carroll County office in Maryland. I'm the market center administrator here.
Oh, that had the perfect person.
Go figure. Yeah, it's kwueval.com.
kwueval.com. Now, let me put KWU, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
kwueval.com. All right, now when it comes up, you're not going to see, oh, because it's going to go to Survey Monkey. Okay, so it's going to just ask you for your region and the event type, which was online. And if you go to the drop-down menu, Ignite should be in there. You'll see Ignite. And the one I did was Win the Seller. So if you would check that, I'd appreciate it. And then it'll say Next. And you're not going to see my name in there. You're going to have to put my name in there if you get that far. Did everybody get that far?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just put my name in there. Tyrone, because I gave y'all Coach T. So here, let me give you my so-called real name. So let me give you that. I'm going to put it in the chat. All right. I just put it in the chat. Tyrone Whitby. So if you would do that, I appreciate it. Look, I had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. You were a great group to work with. I just wish you guys all the success in the world. I really, really enjoyed it. If there's anything I can ever do to help you with your business, just text me. Don't call me, but text me because I'm typically teaching, coaching, or training. So just text me, and if there's anything I can do to help you, I most
But
certainly
Steve, did
will.
you hit enter when you typed in your name?
Did I?
Yeah, we don't see it.
Okay, hold on, everyone. Let me put it back in again. There you go.
Okay.
There it is.
All right, y'all have my number from earlier, right? Everybody got my number? They need my number again. Y'all good? Here, let me put the number just in case.
Now I gotta go change my voicemail.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good
It
thing.
is a good thing.
Make yourself some money. All
It
right,
was so funny. Our
I want
team
to thank
leader,
everybody for being on. I want to thank Carmen. Thanks for being so helpful, Carmen. I'll probably see you at one of the regional meetings or something like that. Never know. Were you on the regional today via Zoom?
yes,
Oh,
sir.
okay. Okay, good. So we were both on today. All right, I don't have anything else. Don't forget to get those books, Exactly What to Say. And if you want to be on CYD, send me your email address and I'll send you the link for tomorrow. I'll send it to you in the morning. It's at 9 o'clock. All right. So if you want to get a feel for that, how we use the book, jump on with us. All right. So it's been a beautiful thing. Wish all of you the very best. Lots of success in real estate. I'll end with this. There is no thrill in sailing when the sky is clear and blue. There is no thrill in doing things that merely anyone can do. But there is some satisfaction that's mighty sweet to take when you've reached a destination that you thought you couldn't make. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you reach all of your real estate destinations. Good night.